Hello and welcome to the world of responsible AI governance. Are you a student eager to understand the future of ethical technology, or an expert trying to align innovation with values, or a senior leader seeking to future proof your organization? Then this journey is for you. In a world where artificial intelligence is deciding who gets a job, a loan, or even a life saving diagnosis, responsible AI is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's no longer just a conversation for academics or policy circles. Today, AI ethics is operational, regulatory, and reputational. It defines how organizations are trusted, how they perform, and whether they lead responsibly or fall behind. This video is a deep dive into the real world frameworks, the tools, and the principles that makes AI safe, fair, and beneficial. We'll explore how to embed ethics not as a afterthought but as a core design element, from data collection to model development, deployment, and decommissioning. As generative AI accelerates innovation, it also magnifies risk, misinformation, biases, opacity, and even regulatory gaps. That's why we need strong governance models and diverse teams, ethical oversight, and most of all, clear global cooperation. Responsible AI isn't just about building powerful systems. It's about building systems that we can trust. It's about shifting the question from can we build this to should we build this, and how do we build it right. In this video, we will uncover how leading frameworks, that's from EU AI Act to NIST AI Risk Management Framework, shape global governance. Why human rights, transparency, and fairness are the bedrock of AI accountability, and why every stakeholder, be it IT developer, or a policymaker, or a business leader, and citizens, can play a part in shaping ethical AI. So, whether you are just starting out or leading at the top, join me as we explore responsible AI governance. It's your strategic compass in the fourth industrial revolution that we are in today. Because the future of AI is not just about algorithms, it's about us. Namaskaram. This is your host, Savit Vittal Salian. Let's explore this beautiful world of AI and its governance. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming industries, societies, and personal lives. From automating mundane tasks to enabling life saving medical predictions. AI's reach is vast. However, with great power comes the need for great responsibility. As AI systems increasingly influence human decisions, financial markets, legal frameworks, and social dynamics, the need for responsible AI governance becomes paramount. Responsible AI governance refers to a comprehensive framework of principles, policies, tools, and oversight mechanism that ensures AI systems are designed, deployed, and managed ethically, securely, and transparently. This video explores the core pillars of responsible AI governance, its multidimensional perspectives, and the strategic imperatives required to foster a safe, people focused, and impact grounded AI adoption. In simple language, is put up what is responsible AI governance? Well, AI is changing the world. We agree. It is helping doctors improve banking, powering chatbots, and even driving cars today. But because AI makes important decisions, it must be used carefully and responsibly. Responsible AI governance means creating rules, checks, and good habits to make sure AI doesn't harm people. It treats everyone fairly. It keeps data private. It is honest and transparent. And more important, it can be trusted. It's not just about coding the machine, it's about making sure the people, process, and principles around AI are doing the right thing. Now, the question arises, why do we need it? Without governance, AI might show biases wherein it treats some group unfairly. Without governance, AI might make mistakes we don't understand, like a black box decision. It can leak private information. It can spread misinformation, like deep fakes that we know today. AI might be used in harmful ways, like in surveillance or autonomous weapon systems. That's why we need a system in place to watch over AI, guide its use, and fix problems when they happen. Now, the question arises, what makes AI responsible? A responsible AI system is it should be inherently be safe, that it won't make harmful decisions or break down easily. A responsible AI system focuses on the people. It helps humans and respect their rights. A responsible AI system considers the impact. It asks who might be affected. Is this doing more good than harm? Now we can always ask who should care? Well, everyone, which include the companies, need to follow the rules and protect the users. Governments need to set laws and monitor risk. Engineers must build safe and ethical tools. Users should understand how AI affect their lives. In short, responsible AI governance is like a traffic system for AI. Just like roads needs traffic lights and signs and speed limits to avoid accidents, AI also needs rules and accountability to make sure it helps, not harm the society. Let's look at foundation of responsible AI governance. What is responsible AI governance means? Responsible AI governance is the oversight and accountability ecosystem that ensures AI technologies are aligned with societal values, laws, and ethical principles. It includes policy frameworks and laws like the EU AI Act, the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, etc. It includes technical tools and standards, organizational practices like the ethical review boards, the red teaming, etc. It also includes cultural values, which is transparency, inclusivity, trustworthiness. Now, what are the key objectives of responsible AI governance? It is to ensure AI safety and risk mitigation. It's about promoting fairness, inclusion, and human rights. It's about enabling explainability and transparency. It's about facilitate accountability and traceability. It's also about fostering public trust and societal alignment. In simple language, it's about making sure AI doesn't cause harm to people or systems. Just like safety checks in cars or planes, AI must be tested and monitored to avoid dangerous mistakes. Is the AI working properly and safely, even in unexpected situation? That's the thought process which is required to ensure the AI is safe. The second aspect is about treating everyone fairly. AI should not treat people differently based on their race or gender or age or income. Fairness means no biases or discrimination. The thought process should be, is the AI fair to all users, no matter who they are? AI need to be transparent and honest, which is people should know how AI makes its decision. It shouldn't feel like a black box that can't be questioned. The thought process should be, can people understand why the AI said yes or no? AI should handle personal data with care, that too only with permission and never misuse it. The thought process is the AI protecting people's personal information? From an accountability perspective, someone must take responsibility if things go wrong with AI. There should always be a way to trace who built it or how it works and who approved it. In this, the thought process should be, who is responsible for this AI and can we check it works? From building trust perspective, if AI follows good rules, people will feel safe using it. Trust is key for adoption. People won't use what they don't trust. The thought process should be, do people feel confident using this AI? AI should help society make lives better, decisions smarter, and service more efficient. The thought process in this should be, is this AI system truly helping people or just making profits? In summary, responsible AI governance is like a compass. It points AI in the right direction to keep it safe, fair, transparent, private, accountable, trusted, and useful to all. Pillars of responsible AI governance. We'll cover the aspects of safety and risk management, ethical AI and human centric design, transparency and explainability, accountability and legal compliance, inclusivity and equity, safety and risk management. AI safety involves ensuring that systems operate as intended without causing unintended harm. The key aspects include robustness and resilience. It's about ensuring AI performs reliably under diverse and adversarial conditions. It's about AI risk assessment, which is techniques like threat modeling, adversarial testing, and probabilistic reasoning. Next is human in the loop, which is HITL, ensuring human oversight in high risk or safety critical domains like healthcare and aviation. In simple terms, it means these pillars is about making sure AI system do not cause harm either by accident or by design. Just like safety test for airplane, medicine or cars, we need to test, monitor and control AI systems to make sure they are reliable, predictable and secure. Now, why does it matter? Well, AI can sometimes make wrong decisions, be tricked or hacked, works well in testing but fails in the real world, or gets out of control, especially in autonomous system that we know about. That's why we must treat AI like a risky tool and manage those risks properly. So, how do we manage AI safety and risk? Well, build AI that's robust. It should work properly in all kind of situation, even unusual or the unexpected one. The thought process that should be there is, does the AI system still behave correctly under pressure? Next is to test for errors and failure points. It's about running stress tests to see where AI might break or make mistakes. The thought process in this should be, what happens when the AI sees messy, biased, or new data? The keep human in loop is all about for critical tasks like healthcare, finance, or justice. A human should always review and approve major AI decisions. The thought process that is expected or required is a person checking the AI's recommendation before it affects someone's life. The next is to prepare for any adversarial attack. AI can be fooled by trick inputs, also known as adversarial attack. We must train it to detect and defend against these. The thought process when building is, can someone fool the AI into misbehaving? The next is monitoring AI after it is deployed. Don't just test it once, watch it constantly in the real world. Update or pause it if it starts making bad decision. The thought process in this should be, is the AI being monitored like a live machine? The next is to plan for emergencies. Always have a kill switch or a shutdown procedure for high risk AI systems. The thought process in this should be, if the AI starts causing harm, can we shut it down quickly? In simple analogy in this case, think of AI like a self-driving car. You wouldn't let it on the road without a strong engine, a crash test, a backup driver, emergency brakes, GPS updates. That's the concept of robustness, stress testing, human in loop, fail safe situation conditions, and real time monitoring. The same safety logic applies to all AI systems. Let's now look at the ethical AI and human centered design part as the next pillar. In this, ethics in AI mandates systems to be aligned with human values. The core principles include beneficence, which is AI should do good, augmenting well being and opportunity. Non maleficent, that is, avoid harm through biased or unsafe models. Autonomy and agency, respect users' choice, data privacy, and informed consent. Next is justice and fairness, which is about avoiding discriminatory outcome. In simple language, it means these pillars is about making sure AI systems respect human values, treat everyone with fairness, and are built to benefit people, not just businesses or machines. It means putting humans at the center of every decision in the AI design and not just the technology. Now, why it matters? Well, AI is used in places that affect real lives like hiring, credit scoring, education, policing, and healthcare. If not designed carefully, AI can be unfair or biased, makes decision without consent. It can take away human choices. It can harm people without even anyone noticing. Ethical AI protects us from this risk of ensuring AI does the right thing. The key idea behind ethical human centric AI is to do good, which is beneficence. AI should improve lives, solve real problem and make work easier, not just maximize profit. The thought process should be, is the AI truly helping people? Next is, AI should not cause physical, mental, financial, or emotional harm. For doing this, the thought process should be, could this AI hurt someone by mistake or by design? AI should treat everyone equally, regardless of race, gender, background, or income. Biases in training data or logic must be removed. To do this, the thought process should be, is the AI fair to all type of people? Next is, AI should assist humans, not control them. People should have the power to question or even override AI decisions. In this, the thought process should be, can users understand and reject an AI suggestions if needed? Next is, people should know when they are interacting with AI what data it uses and how it makes decisions. The thought process in this should be, is the AI open about what it's doing? From a ethical AI should be designed by diverse teams and tested with feedbacks from all type of users. The thought process while building should be, did we ask different communities what matters to them before building the AI? So what does human centered design means? Well, it means listening to real users during designing the AI system, solving real human problems, not just technical challenges, respecting dignity and diversity, designing for accessibility and inclusion like language, disability, age, etc. A simple analogy, think of AI like building a smart assistant or robot for your home. Wouldn't you want it to help you, not control you? Understand your preference? Be respectful of your space, your data, your voice? That's exactly what ethical, human centered AI means. Technology that serves and uplifts people. The next principle pillar is transparency and explainability. AI systems must comprehensible to human and open to scrutiny. It has few aspects. One is model explainability, audit trails, documentation. What does it mean? Under model explainability, it is Shape, Lime, or EBM tools. Under audit is logs of model decisions and training data lineage. Documentation is about use of datasheet for data sets and model cards for models. In simple language, it means this pillar is about making sure we understand how AI systems work, why they make certain decisions, and who is responsible for those decisions. It's like taking the cover of a machine to see how it really works. No secret, no magic. Now, why does it matter? Well, when AI makes important decisions like approving a loan, rejecting a job application, or flagging someone as a threat, people need to know why. Without transparency and explainability, AI looks like a black box. Input goes in, decisions come out, and no one knows how. Without transparency and explainability, trust breaks down. People can't challenge or fix wrong decisions. Regulators can't hold anyone accountable. The key concepts here is, which is transparency is actually being open. It tells people when AI is being used, shares what data it uses and how it was trained. It's about being clear about what AI can and cannot do. The thought process in transparency is the AI purpose and process open to users, regulators, and the public? Explainability is about telling the why. Explain in simple terms why AI made a certain decisions. Use tools and techniques that makes AI reasoning easy to understand, even for non-experts. The thought process should be, can someone understand why the AI said yes or no? Auditability, it's about checking it works. It's about keeping records of how the AI behaved and what data it used. It's about making it possible to go back and audit or investigate its decisions. The thought process as part of auditability should be, if something goes wrong, can we find out what happened and why? So that's auditability. Traceability is who did what. Document every step, who designed, trained, approved, and deployed the AI. Track changes to data, code, and model versions. The thought process in this should be, can we trace responsibility back to a team or an individual? Now, the tools that can help, model cards. It's a simple document that explains what the AI does, how it was built, and what it's good or bad at. The shape and the line tools. It's a tool that shows how much each input affected the AI's decision. The data sheet for data sets explains where the data came from and what risk it might have. Simple analogy, imagine using a calculator that gives the right answer, but you can't see the steps. You would want to know what formula did it use, what numbers were entered. Can I trust this output? Transparency and explainability lets us check, trust, and improve AI, just like we do with people or other tools. Accountability and legal compliance is the next pillar, which has traceability, which is about the ability to trace outcome back to the model's logic and data. Liability framework, it's about establishing clear accountability in case of harm. Compliance, it's about alignment with regulatory framework like the GDPR, the EU AI, the DPDP Act, etc. In simple language, it means this pillar is about making sure that someone is always responsible for the AI system. The AI follows the laws and the rules that apply in a country or industry. AI systems don't run by themselves. They are created, trained, approved, deployed by people. Those people or companies must own up to the result, good or bad. Why it matters? Well, if an AI system makes a biased decision or misuses private data, rejects someone unfairly, or cause harm, there must be a clear path to investigate, fix it, and hold someone accountable. Otherwise, people will lose trust in AI. Victims will have no way to get justice. Companies and governments might misuse AI with no consequence. The idea in simple term is, every AI systems must have a clear owner or team in charge of its behavior. The thought process in this should be, if something goes wrong, who do we call and who fixes it. It should be able to keep track of who trained the AI, what data was used, how it was approved, and who maintains it. The thought process in this should be, can we go back and see how this decision was made in the first place? That's making AI decisions traceable. Next is about following the laws. AI must follow the laws about data privacy like GDPR, DPDP Act, etc. Laws related to fair treatment, which is anti-discriminatory rules and so on. AI must follow laws related to consumer rights, employment laws, etc. The thought process should be, does this AI follow the rules where it is used? The next is, users should be able to ask why a decision was made and appeal or challenge it. The thought process should be, can I ask for a human review if I think the AI is wrong? This is about giving people the right to challenge. Next is, companies must document the AI design and its decisions so they can be checked by regulators or by courts. The thought process here should be, can we show we did the right thing step by step? This is about being ready for audit and investigation. The next is assigning roles like AI system owner, ethic reviewer, compliance officer, audit leads. This is about defining the internal roles. The thought process in this should be, does everyone know their job in keeping the AI responsible? The simple analogy is, imagine if a robot makes a mistake in a hospital. Maybe it gives the wrong medicine. It's not enough to say the robot did it. No, we need to know who built it, who tested it, who was watching it, and did it follow the rules. That's accountability and legal compliance. It makes sure people remain responsible, not just the technology. The next pillar is inclusivity and equity. It has three distinctions. One is designed for marginalized and underrepresented community, diversity in training data, development teams and feedback channels, accessibility and language equity. Now, in simple terms, it means this pillar is about making sure AI works for everyone, not just for a few. It means designing AI that's fair, inclusive, and accessible to people of all backgrounds, language, ability, and identities. AI must be built to serve diverse community, not just the people who created it. Now, why does it matter? Well, if AI is trained on narrow or biased data, it can treat some people unfairly. It can ignore the need of minority or marginalized groups. It can create more inequality in the society. Example, a voice assistant that doesn't understand certain accents. A hiring AI that favors men because it was trained on male dominated resumes. Or a facial recognition system that performs poorly on darker skin tones. As an example, inclusivity and equity makes sure no one is left out or treated unfairly. It's about think about different age, gender, race, culture, and abilities. The thought process here should be, would this AI work well for someone who is visually impaired or doesn't speak English? That thought process factors the design for everyone. AI should be trained on data that includes many different kind of people. The thought process should be, is the data balanced and representative? AI should be tested to make sure it performs fairly for everyone, not just the average user. The thought process should be, does this AI works equally well for men and women, young and old? The next is to include feedback from people of different backgrounds during design, testing, and deployment. The thought process should be, did we ask communities what fairness means to them? The next is ensuring AI interfaces, whether it is an app, a bot, or a tool, are usable by people with disabilities or low tech access. The thought process should be, can someone with a screen reader use this AI product? As an example. The next is, should monitor AI regularly to catch unfair patterns or unintended discriminations. The thought process here should be, is the AI helping one group while hurting the other? A simple analogy. Imagine building a public library. Would you put sign in only one language or build steps but no wheelchair ramps? Offer books for only one age group? Of course not. AI should be the same, open, accessible, and useful to all. Let's now look at the checklist. The first one is ensuring transparency and explainability. You can pause the screen and you can take a screenshot if you require to. The various aspect in this is, first is declare the AI usage. The objective should be, or thought process should be, which should be inform users when AI is being used in a system or a service. That's declare the AI usage. Are you doing it? Describe its purpose. Clearly explain what the AI is supposed to do and its limits. Publish the model documentation, which is about use the model card to explain how the model works, its strength and weaknesses. Enable explainability, which is use tools like Lime, Shape, or so on. Maintain audit trails. Implement traceability. Review for bias and opacity. Train teams and users. This should be a checklist. This is a potential checklist. Of course, it's not a comprehensive one, but it's a good start point. So if your organization is planning and the intent is to build a responsible AI governance, you can use this as a start point, as a checklist in your thought process. And you can build on it later. We'll be going through multiple such checklists in these videos. The intention is to demystify what a responsible AI is. So hence, I've tried as much checklist as possible that I can think of, and every possible combination. Of course, do revert back to me if you think there are certain things which need to be added or incorrectly been addressed. I'll try to get a new version of the video or addendum later on. But this is a start point. So take this as a start point. The next is the checklist on ensuring accountability and legal compliance in AI. It has two aspects: accountability, legal compliance. Accountability, the checklist is assigning clear ownership for every AI systems and its outcome. Keeping a detailed record of how AI decisions are made. Maintaining logs for independent audits and investigation. Defining roles and responsibility for AI governance and oversight. Under legal compliance, you have ensuring AI complies with data privacy laws, enforce anti discrimination and consumer protection laws in AI use, provide users with a way to challenge or appeal AI decisions, stay updated with evolving AI laws and regulatory guidelines. Again, you can pause the screen, take a screenshot, and take back to your drawing table to incorporate this in your checklist, or you can start with this checklist and build on. The next is checklist related to promoting inclusivity and equity in AI systems. It has few pillars. One is design for everyone. Use diverse data. Test across demographic groups. Include more voice. Ensure accessibility. Monitor for inequities. The sub items are there on the screen. We discussed this, but then this is a checklist which you can take a screenshot and you can run through it. For example, under design for everyone, avoid the assumption based on dominant or majority group. Include more voices. It is about inviting feedbacks from diverse stakeholders and communities. Monitor for inequities, which is about regularly check for biases or unequal treatment, or create escalation path for users to report unfair results. These are checks that you can use to run this. You can build a responsible AI through these steps. These are again start points. The next checklist is on safety and risk management, which includes building AI that's robust and works under different conditions, test for errors and stress conditions, keep human in the loop for critical decisions, and so on. Similarly, for ethical AI and human-centered design, the checklist would be design AI to benefit people and solve real problems. Now, pausing here while you can take a screenshot, these are for the designers of AI, the governance team, the management, the senior management, the sponsors of AI in the organization. When you have a proposal, a very exciting AI you want to onboard, you can use this checklist when reviewing. Ask the designer these questions. See their response, observe and take a decision, take a informed decisions whether the AI, the tool, the mechanism that you are going to incorporate or onboard into your organization checks all of these, or are there areas which are not getting passed your test. So this is your checklist. Check your AI system against these to start with. The risk managers can review this and enhance it, refine it, make it more thorough, make it more relevant to your organization. Hence, you can take these as a base reference. These are itself comprehensive, but then every organization is different. Its needs, its regulations are different. It has its unique requirements that need to be addressed. So you can start with this and you can build on it. Or many a times, I'm sure not all the areas would be checked. In that case, that's back to the drawing table to address those specific areas that did not work out for you. Hence, that's how you should look at these checklists that I'm sharing. The next aspect is transparency and explainability and accountability and legal compliance. So in this, the checklist is publish the model document, train users and staff to understand the AI behavior, maintain audit trails and logs of AI decisions. From an accountability and legal compliance perspective, it's about assign clear ownership for AI systems, maintain audit logs for regulatory and internal reviews, or provide user recourses for challenging AI decisions. From an inclusivity and equity perspective, the checklist would be design AI with diverse background and identity in mind. Ask this question to the designers of the AI. What is the background? What is the background used to when they developed this? You'll know whether it was addressed for a specific user base or it has a diverse background there. What was the training data used against? Was it representative of the whole system? The question to be asked is, how is the performance tested? Against what demographic group? Did the test represent or under represent a community? Is the tool accessible to people with disabilities? How do you monitor continuously the outputs or inequalities? This should help you with the pillars, and the checklist is something that as a base you can use for reference. Perspective on responsible AI governance. Policy and regulatory perspective. EU AI Act is about classifies AI by risk and mandates conformity assessments for high risk applications. The US NIST AI risk management framework, it emphasizes trustworthy AI with cross sectoral guidance. India's DPDP Act and AI consultation focuses on privacy, preserving and inclusive AI. The key regulatory trends include the risk-based approach, mandatory audits and documentation. Also includes cross-border data governance. Now, what does it mean? Well, this pillar is about making sure AI system follows laws, respect human rights and meet the rules set by governments and global bodies. Just like how we have rules for medicine, cars, or financial services, we also need rules for AI because AI affects people's lives in serious ways. Why it matters? Well, without strong policies and regulations, AI systems might be unsafe, biased, or harmful. Companies might use AI without caring about fairness or privacy. People could lose trust in technology. Victims of AI error would have no legal protection or remedy. Regulations make sure AI is not a wild experiment but a responsible and accountable system. What this pillar focuses on? Well, following the law. AI must follow data protection, anti discrimination, consumer protection, and cyber security laws. The thought process in this is this AI system built and used within the rule of the country or sector? Some laws, like the EU AI Act, sort AI systems by how risky they are, whether it's low risk, high risk, or banned. The thought process in this is this AI used in a sensitive area like hiring, policing, or healthcare? Well, if any audience is interested in the EU AI Act, they can refer to the series on EU AI Act that's uploaded. You might get a better perspective, and if you want to go deeper, that's the place to go in. So you can refer my videos on the EU AI Act. The next is regulators may ask for AI audits, testing reports, or proof of fairness and transparency. The thought process on this is, can we show this AI systems was built and tested responsibly? The next is AI must respect rights like privacy, free speech, dignity, and fairness. The thought process while approaching this is, does this AI avoid harming or discriminating against individuals or group. This is protecting the human right aspect. The next is government or independent bodies should be able to inspect, question, or even stop AI systems if needed. The thought process in this should be, can regulator check what this AI is doing and how? The next is, companies working cross border must follow rules in multiple countries, and governments are trying to align their standards. The thought process in this should be, does this AI follow both local and global expectations? A simple analogy to put it here is, think of AI like building a skyscraper. You need permits, safety codes, inspections, and rules. You can't just build anything anywhere without checks. And if something goes wrong, someone must be accountable. Policies and regulations for AI works the same way. That is to protect people, ensure safety, and keep builders responsible. Now, if you want to do a checklist, well, this gives you a view. That is, follow relevant laws, understand AI risk classification, maintain proper documentation. Under relevant laws, you have comply with the data privacy laws or ensure adherence to anti-discrimination and consumer protection laws. Under understanding the AI risk classification, you have determined if your AI system is low risk, high risk, or prohibited as per the local regulation. Do you apply appropriate safety and documentation requirement based on the risk levels? Similarly, for maintaining proper documentation, do you create and update model card, data logs, audit logs, etc.? So this is the checklist. For audience who are interested into going deeper, you can take a screenshot of this as a checklist for your own reference. That might help you in your planning or during the discussion on your drawing table. The next are respecting human rights, enabling regulatory oversight, and adopting of global standards. In this, the checklist could be, or sub items could be, are you avoiding harm to freedom, dignity, expression, or equality? Is your AI system embed ethical reviews in AI development lifecycle? Or are you able to respond to audits or compliance requests promptly? Or are you able to monitor evolving global AI governance trends and legal updates? Again, I would request you can take a screenshot of this checklist, and that might help you in your internal discussion and planning when you are building your own AI system. Or if you already have an AI system, you can use this checklist as a reference point for analyzing where you stand on each of these aspects. This must help you to know your current state and the gap and your target state. The next is organizational governance perspective. It has AI ethics committee, which is oversight board to review high risk use cases. The responsible AI governance operating model, or the RAI operating model, which is about embedding RAI teams within the product lifecycle. You have the AI governance framework, which is Microsoft responsible AI standards, or IBM AI fact sheet, or Google's AI principle. You can use these. From a best practice perspective, you have cross-functional governance, which is legal, tech, or ethics committee, or impact assessment using algo impact or any other assessment techniques that is used in your organization. The next is continuous training for employee on AI risk and ethics. This is a difficult part. You need to design. To design, you have to know what is the scope, what's your target audience, and what's your objective. So this is where your training team comes into play. Do look at how the training was planned out, what principles it is used as a reference point. In simple language, these pillar is about this is about how organizations, whether it's company, institutions, or government agency, manage AI internally. It ensures that ethical practices, accountability, risk and controls are built into every team, projects, and decisions and not treated as an afterthought. The thought process actually is how do we as an organization make sure our AI is responsible at every step. So that's how your thought process should be. Why it matters? Well, even with great laws and ethical principle, AI can still go wrong if team works in silos or no one is clearly in charge or ethics is ignored during the tight deadlines. It can still go wrong if there is no clear process to review AI decisions. Organizational governance fixes this by creating a clear structure, roles, policies, and processes to build and use AI responsibly. The key elements in this is the AI Ethics Committee, which is a formal group that reviews AI projects for fairness, risk, and accountability. Now, pause here and think through, do you have an AI Ethics Committee? Or do you have any structure currently which incorporates this as part of your framework? If not, time to think about it. The thought process of this committee should be, does this AI follow our company's value and ethics? The RAI, which is the Responsible AI Governance Operating Model, it's about a defined workflow where responsible AI like fairness checks or bias audits are built into every step of AI lifecycle, from data collection to deployment. The thought process in this is, have we tested this AI for biases before launching it? As a senior management or the hand on the ground, this is a thought process that should always be there. Be proactive, suspicious always. Is there a bias? Have you tested? Have you tested it enough? So that's the thought process that is required at this step. Next is bringing together experts from tech, legal, compliance, HR, marketing, and user design to shape AI responsibly. Generally, you'll have a tech team and maybe an enthusiastic business, but you would need all the others. Tech, of course, business, of course, but legal, compliance, HR, marketing, all of these are required to ensure you are in line for building a responsible AI in your system. The thought process should be, are we including all perspective and not just engineers in our AI decisions? Next is assigning responsibilities for things like data quality, risk assessment, legal reviews, user feedbacks. At this step, the thought process should be, who is in charge of this AI model and who signs off on it? That's your thought process for clear roles and accountability space. The next is help all employees, not just developers, understand the AI risk, its fairness, and its ethics. The thought process should be, does everyone in the team know what responsible AI means and how to follow it? Do note, senior management might have a great idea of building a responsible AI or a wish that all my AIs are responsible or hope to. But are you sure the next in line or a line after or the last man in this chain understands what responsible AI looks like? Most of the time, the answer is no. At least the last person on the ground, a techie, a person who is on the keyboard working on the code would not be interested in it. Your intention should be, can he articulate what responsible AI looks like? Mostly, he would have an interpretation which might not necessarily similar or in line with what the senior management does. Hence, it's important to ensure that everyone in the team knows what responsible AI means and how it has to be followed. Else, the direction will likely go haywire. The next is regularly check AI systems for ethical, legal, and performance issues. Once all of them, the team users know what AI or responsible AI looks like, they can do this. But if they don't, then you have a challenge. Use tools to document decisions and flag problems early. The thought process in impact assessment and audit should be, when was the last time we reviewed this AI system for fairness? In simple analogy, think of AI in a company like running a restaurant. You need a chef, equivalent to an engineer, but also hygiene inspector, who in our case from a technology perspective is a compliance guy, a menu planner or designer, and customer service, which is the user. You can't run the kitchen without rules, reviews, teamwork, and responsibilities. Organizational governance is how company makes sure everyone does their part to serve safe, ethical, high quality AI. From a checklist perspective, let's now look at it. It is about establish an AI ethics committee to review and approve all AI projects. You need to have that. Integrate responsible AI tasks into every stage of AI lifecycle. Foster cross-functional collaboration across tech, legal, compliance, HR, and UX team. Assign clear roles and responsibilities for data quality, risk, legal, compliance, and oversight. Next is to provide ethics and AI governance training for all relevant staff. The next check is conducting regular impact assessments and fairness audits of deployed AI systems. The next is ensuring feedback channel exist for users and employees to report AI concerns. Last is maintaining logs and documentation to support audits and regulatory reviews. The next item in this is technology perspective. It has fairness and bias mitigation algorithm, privacy preserving techniques, which is differential privacy or federated learning, robustness testing, which is red teaming, stress tests, adversarial attacks, etc. AI system audits, which is technical audits for bias, privacy, and performance. Technology enablers, the toolkits, which is AI Fairness 360, What If Tools, DNOM, IBM Watson, OpenScale, etc. Compliance automation, which is regulatory as a code platform, model version systems. Now, in simple language, what it means. This pillar is about the tools, systems, technical practices used to build AI in a safe, fair, and reliable way. Even if you have great ethics and policies, you need the right technology to make AI behave responsibly. That means using the right data, the right algorithm, the right testing tools, all built with transparency, fairness, and safety in mind. Why it matters? Well, if the technology behind AI is poorly designed, it may make biased or harmful decision. It may not be explainable or trustworthy. It may be vulnerable to hacking or misuse. So, responsible AI must be built on strong ethical technology foundations. So, if you make the concept simpler, data governance, it's use clean, fair, representative data to train the AI. Document where the data came from and who can access it. The thought process in data governance should be, is our AI trained on good, diverse, and legal data? From an explainable AI, what it means is use models and tools that can explain how decisions were made, like shape or lime or EBM. The thought process should be, can we tell a user or a regulator why the AI gave that answer? When you look at from bias detection perspective, use fairness checking tools to detect and fix biases in algorithms. Example is AI Fairness 360, etc. The thought process at bias detection space would be, have we tested our AI for biases before they were launched? When you come to security and robustness perspective, make sure AI can't be tricked or hacked. In other words, known as adversarial defense. Build model that performs well even in edge cases. The thought process here should be, can our AI resist attacks and still make safe decisions? In testing and simulation part, it's about running the AI through various real world scenario to test for safe behaviors. The thought process at testing and simulation should be, what happens when the AI sees unexpected inputs. From monitoring and logging perspective, need to track what the AI does after it goes live. Log outputs, errors, and decisions for auditing. The thought process at monitoring and logging phase should be, are we keeping an eye on the AI's behavior after deployment? That's your thought process at the monitoring and logging phase. From a version control and documentation perspective, it is about keeping records of the model version, training data, changes, and approvals. The thought process at this stage should be, can we trace every update done to the AI system? A simple analogy in this I will put up is, think of AI like a factory machine. Even with good factory rules and ethics, if the machine is broken, it will still produce bad results. We need to engineer the AI carefully with safety alarms, labels, logs, and testing tools. Responsible AI starts with responsible technology. Let's now look at a checklist. So it's about, first is, ensure all your AI systems are trained on clean, fair, and representative data. The next step is maintaining proper data governance with source documentation and its access control. The next step is using explainable AI to make decisions understandable. Apply bias detection and fairness tool before deployment. Implement security measures to prevent adversarial attacks and tampering. Conduct scenario based testing to simulate real world conditions and edge cases. The next is enable live monitoring and logging of AI decisions post deployment. The last part is document model version, changes, training data, and approval history. So, this checklist should help you in some way. Moving on to the next one, it's about societal and cultural perspective. There are a few aspects here. The first is public engagement, which is about co-designing AI tools with the affected communities. Next is digital literacy. It's about educating the public on how AI impacts daily lives. Ethical narrative. It's about storytelling to explain AI benefits and risk. From a challenge perspective, it's about bridging cultural and linguistic diversity, overcoming algorithmic distrust due to prior harm, or aligning AI systems with pluralistic value. Now, what does it mean? This pillar is about making sure that AI respects culture, its values, reflects social norm, supports society as a whole, not just tech or business goals. AI isn't just a tool, it affects people, communities, and culture. So, we must ask, is this system, AI system, fair, respectful, and helpful in different societies and culture? Why it matters? Well, if AI is designed without understanding the social and cultural context, it can offend or exclude certain groups, reinforce existing inequality or stereotype, or ignore local laws or values. It can create mistrust among communities. Hence, AI must fit into the human world, not force the world to adapt to its machine. Well, key elements in simple terms, if you want to look at it from that side, understanding the cultural differences. Well, values and norms vary between regions. Example, privacy in Europe versus surveillance in some other country. The thought process is, does this AI respect local customs, language, and beliefs? How is it? What works in one country or community might not work in the other. So, the thought process is this AI flexible enough to serve different community fairly? AI should help solve real world problems like education, healthcare, climate changes, or justice. The thought process here should be, is this AI making life better for people in the society, or just not for profit for a company? The next is, AI should uplift people often left out, which are the minorities, the rural population, non English speaker, people with disabilities, etc. The thought process at this step should be, is anyone being left behind or hurt by this technology? The next is, people should understand how AI affects them and have a say in its use. The thought process at this stage should be, are we listening to the public concerns and giving them a voice in how the AI is used? The next is, AI system should not erase or disrespect ancient, native, or non-Western way of knowing and living. The thought process here should be, are we valuing diverse worldviews and not just Western science? Simple analogy, imagine launching a smart farming app in a rural area. If it only works in English or assumes modern tools, it may not help the local farmer. If it ignores their traditional knowledge or seasonal practice, it may fail. If it is designed with a local culture, language, and needs in mind, it can transform lives. That's the goal of this pillar. Build AI that fits into the world without pushing people out. So, now let's look at a checklist way of doing the work. This is again an indicative checklist. You can look at it, you can build on it, you can refine it based on your own business logics, your market, the country that you are in, and your values. So, from this checklist perspective, the first is ensuring AI systems reflect and respect local cultural values. Adapt AI solutions to fit different language, regions, and user behavior. Design AI to support societal goals like education, health, climate, and justice. Include marginalized communities in design and feedback process. Promote AI literacy and public understanding through awareness programs. Allow communities to have a voice in how the AI impacts their lives. Respect indigenous and non-Western knowledge systems in a data and design, and continuously assess the societal impact and cultural sensitivity of AI systems. Do note, while some of the statements might look like, oh, these are for government, you remove that government and put your organization instead of, and check out whether it is relevant. Most would be. Having said that, as I mentioned earlier, this is something which is as a base checklist. You need to build on it. Some might be fit for most, or you might have to define, refine, or completely change it. But the concept would be in similar nature. So feel free. The whole idea behind this checklist is so that the last person on the ground knows exactly what he should be doing. There are no ifs and buts. It's very clear. Your checklist helps you to ensure that the thought process, the idea behind from the top is converted itself into a clear, actionable. Pausing here, we will end this part 1 of the series. We have touched the introduction, foundation, pillars of responsible AI governance, had looked at the perspective, and of course, we looked at a detailed checklist. The objective of the checklist, as mentioned earlier, is to ensure that the last man standing managing the AI space knows how a responsible AI governance looks like on the ground. The checklist is important. It gives you very clear direction as to how or what needs to be done. While what I have provided is the initial seed of thought, the organization might have a more refined way. You can, if you're starting fresh, then use this as a reference and you can build on it. Bring in the SMEs of each space, especially your tech team, your HR, your legal team, of course, from the management, the business, and so on, so that the discussions are clear, documented, and when the checklists are drawn, it's in line. The idea is to ensure that you are not caught later on a penalty for not having a system which has a responsible AI governance aspect. Hence, my best wishes to you. We'll pause here on part 1 and we'll move to part 2 where we'll try to cover the rest of the topic. Having said that, I would like to thank you for investing this time with me. This is your host, Savit Vittal Salian. Namaskara.